guys, welcome back to Gypsyfae Creations. Today's soap making video is based on the Fandom of the Month subscription box, and it's going to be a Broadway themed soap. Let's get started on this Broadway themed soap. Alright, starting off with our oils here and our lye water solution with some sodium lactate in it. We're going to give that a whirl with our handy dandy, I can't even say handy dandy, what is wrong with me? Our handy dandy kitchen vibrator. Let's pour in our water lye solution and get this to a light trace. We have achieved light trace. Sit that to the side. I am only using two colors in this bar of soap, and you'll see why in the end. But the two colors I am using are reds. I'm using a Firecracker Red by Nurture's Soap and a Wine Red by Nurture's Soap. And what I'm trying to replicate here is a red curtain. Like when you go to the theater and there's a big giant red curtain, that's what I want the soap to look like. So I'm going to split this into two. And I'm going to add the other color. Mix this up. And the fragrance I picked out for this, it was very tough trying to come up with, you know, a fragrance that describes the theater. But when I went on to Nature's Gardens and Candles, I saw this Rockin' the Stars. And not only did the name, but the picture kind of draw attention and made me think this is going to be a Broadway scent. It's not really a Broadway scent. It's kind of like a vanilla, fruity kind of scent, like strawberries. I think it goes very well with the color though, so I just went with it. Divide that in here, and then we're just going to scrape down the sides, making sure all of the color is incorporated. I'm going to also stir it to incorporate the fragrance. I had a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out what to do with this soap, because when I opened up the Fandom of the Month box, there was a lot in there. There was a lot of different Broadway plays, and I at first thought maybe I should try and combine them all into one soap, and then I thought that's just ridiculous. I wanted to go with something a little more simple that just kind of says Broadway and not, you know, Wicked and all those other Broadway shows, Hamilton. I thought that would be a lot. This is just kind of a all-together Broadway soap. And I think I might actually take the stick blender to this, because I read really good things about this fragrance, that it doesn't accelerate or ice or anything, so I feel safe enough to do this. Alright, and then I'm going to pour this into the mold. I'm going to attempt just a little drop swirl with these colors. Alright, so I'm going to start off just by pouring in one color and then pouring in the other color, and just kind of going back and forth like that. If you guys have ever been to a Broadway show, it is the most magical thing. I've only been to one once, my first ever. I spoke about it a little bit in the unboxing. I went and saw Peter Pan, and I thought it was just the most magical thing I've ever seen. The things that they can do on that stage is just incredible. I now want to go see more Broadway plays. I don't know which one I want to do next. I know there's some really big ones out there, like The Lion King and Hamilton. I've never seen them, and I think perhaps I should. And then I'm going to just save the rest in here, let that set up a little bit so that I can put the top on and use, you know, a spoon to create a little texture on the top. Alright, changed my mind about putting the topping on. I made this thing. I don't know what you call this. Some people have a real tool that's in the shape of a star for embeds. I kind of made my own. And I'm just going to tap this down. And I'm going to put this in the side corner, and hopefully when I cut into the soap, it keeps its star shape. that. And then I'll just cover that up with the top of the soap. That is still setting up. It is almost ready. So I'm gonna let that sit a little longer.
One day you're gonna have to actually get a real star embed maker. As opposed to having to string all of them together.
We'll see how it turns out. I mean, it wasn't fun to string together, but if I don't make a soap like that quite often, there's no sense in putting the money into it yet. If I had like a signature soap or something that I would make a star in every time, fine, but this is kind of a one-time thing until the next inspiration comes along. This works just fine. It's silly. Anyway, we're gonna let that sit up. Spraying the top of this with the isopropyl alcohol. And then I'm just going to take the remainder of what's in the bowls and scrape that out on top of this loaf. I didn't leave as much as the dark red that I should have. That's cool. So we got a new bunny this weekend, new member of the family. I say new bunny as if I have like an old one. We've never owned a rabbit before. Just kind of adopted it.
It looks like ketchup.
I swear, every single freaking bar of soap I make is like, oh, it's food. Why does it always gotta look like food?
It would be funny if you made a hot dog. Like a
I should just start making like
smoky barbecue.
Food soaps, not just cupcakes, but like hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to wash for that?
No.
Back to the bunny.
Sorry.
We got a mini lop. I named her Mabel. And she bit me today.
That bitch.
What was I thinking? Getting a rabbit. I went out and bought her like some new bedding and litter and chew toys and some nice hay with flowers in it, and she bit me. I think it was because I was trying to pick her up and she didn't want to be picked up. Anyway, I'll update you guys on how that goes. Alright, spoon method. Just kind of move everything around here, make sure everything's filled in. All the corners. So the dog is blind. We have a rat terrier. His name is Luke and he's blind. But he knows there's a rabbit in the house. And he's just dying to get a hold of it. No, I guess not really in the bad way. We're not quite sure. I don't think he wants to hurt it, but he thinks it's like something to play with or something to chase. But again, he can't chase it because he's blind. So that's interesting. The three cats don't really care. They don't seem to have a care in the world for this. The one cat, Smudge, sniffed its butt a little bit and got upset every time the bunny touched him. So we're hoping everyone can get along and be one big happy family. Corny, I know. Alright. For some reason this right here isn't as consistent with the rest of the soap. It just doesn't want to play. If you guys have any advice on taking care of mini lop bunnies or really any bunnies in general, let me know. I am a new bunny parent. I kind of just went out and bought everything. Is there a better litter or bedding or toy or food for a rabbit than what I got? Let me know. Help! Any suggestions, like how long to leave it out of its cage for, or put it in its cage when the way it works? We haven't quite figured this part out yet. How's that look? I'm going to finish it off with some gold glitter. Some fancy gold glitter. Gold from Nurture Soap. just gonna sprinkle some of this down the middle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da! And we're gonna let this sit for 24 to 48 hours. Spraying it again with some isopropyl alcohol and getting glitter everywhere. I'll come back, and when I cut this, that's when I'm going to do the embeds. If you guys have watched the last video, I did a Maryland beer soap and I put some crab embeds on the front of it, and it turned out really well. So I'm going to do the same thing with these little funny guys, the little theater masks, and I'm just going to sit them on the front of the bar of soap with the little star embed that's going to be on the side, so it'll kind of look like maybe a spotlight and a curtain and theater stuff, Broadway stuff. So I'll be back. Alright, back after 24 hours, ready to cut. I was a little worried that the reds wouldn't look like two different shades of red, but we might have a, yep, like that.
I like that too. You gotta show the camera. What I'm thinking is right there.
I'm liking it.
I dig it. Looks good.
And the star embed even turned out, even that was like the most hodgepodge looking thing ever.
I like it.
See, you don't need to spend money on embed molds. Just make your own.
Yeah.
Still really soft.
Yes, it is really soft.
Those are really good colors. Like I think those, the reds and the gold, look really good.
Beautiful.
Nice little drop swirl. I love it. Look, that right there is a drop swirl.
Sure is.
Perfect. Definitely gives you an idea of like the reds. Everyone has trouble with, you know, the red that they want. And this is like two different reds in the same soap. So you can see which red you really like, how they behave. And then for the embeds, I'm going to get some melt and pour like I did with the crab soap and place them on there. Kind of set this in the corner like that.
Oh wow, I like that a lot. Good job.
Does that look like a Broadway soap?
Looks like one to me.
Like, try not to squish these on there because it's still really, really soft. And you gotta work fast with this stuff because it dries up very quickly. This is actually a chocolate mold that I got off Amazon that originally I wanted to put on the top of the soap, and when I got it, it was a little too big, in my opinion, to put on top of soap. So that's where the idea came from, to put it on the front. See, this is already starting to harden up there. Stick that back in the microwave for a couple seconds.
Perfect. Look at you. Good job.
Alright. I like them. So, there you have it. I'm absolutely in love with how these soaps turned out. I love the little red curtain look. I love the little embeds and the method that I used to put on it. I couldn't be more happier with this soap, and I hope I inspired you guys to make your own. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to buy this soap, it will be located in the Etsy shop. I will leave the link down below. Questions or comments, leave them in the box. Until next time, smell you later.